Hello, I would like to also acknowledge the traditional land that we gather on today, the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to elders past and present, as well as any First Nations people in the room today. So I'm going to read two little things. This first one I wrote for a zine that my friend Panita made for a class in a college in New York. You can also find a version of it in the Seen and Heard zine available tonight, and big thank you to Seen and Heard and Subbed In for having me. My kind of feminism is solidarity across the seas, an instant connection of lived experience, of microaggressions, of coexistence, of respect, and of love. Distance is no object, whether a day-to-day warm smile, walking past on the way to the kitchen, or sitting in comfortable silence while we make art, hearts on our sleeves, souls on paper. Or a surprise message from across the globe. How are you? When you least expect it, yet need it the most. My kind of feminism has nothing to do with the arbitrary binary of gender. Talking the talk means walking the walk and standing against exclusion of all oppressed by the straight, white, cis patriarchy, not just your Jermaine Greers and Taylor Swifts and Scarlett fucking Johanssons. My kind of feminism is sometimes saying little, but meaning a lot. It is knowing no matter where we are, I can turn to you and you to me. We will not only listen, but hear. It is ever learning about those you've known longest. You've watched each other grow, through falling outs and reconnections, some sort of cosmic tie, a shared history reeling you back in. And it is new friends feeling like old friends, an instant ease and an easy trust, justified. My kind of feminism is kindness, and understanding and undertaking, a way of getting through the everyday. A choice both vulnerable and joyous, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you. This next one is a little bit longer and a little more intense. Earlier this year, I went to the United States for the first time, and it was also my first time traveling by myself. And this is something I wrote both during and about my time there. It's called Away. Winged eyeliner is a good deterrent from crying in public. Game face, strutting icy New York streets, alone and lonely. City that never sleeps, yet I've never wanted more. Cold, confused, crumpled on my Airbnb floor. Perhaps surprise loneliness is the worst of all. Floating through days without speaking to anyone but those serving you. A walking embodiment of capitalism, my only human connections intrinsically linked to my travel money card. I seek out every Australian cafe that I can find simply to hear my friends' accents, to have familiar roots, the kind of patriotism that only hits a brown diasporic queer girl in dire circumstances. Flight to Chicago, snowball fights with family I just met, and in the passenger seat of my Khala's four-wheel drive, I wait outside her son's suburban school. She's meeting with the principal because her boy Amma is being bullied. The kids in class have been calling him a terrorist. He is in grade 7. My Khala texts me from inside. Being brown and Muslim in Trump's America is not easy, and I am sobbing because experiencing it secondhand is so different than scrolling through my Twitter feed or scoffing at the news from the relative safety and madness of the other side of the world. This is happening here. This is there every day. I leave Chicago much too soon, anxious, rushed, time poor. The night before my flight home, my most severe panic attack to date on your unfamiliar bedroom floor. You say you won't be able to love again because you'll be too scared to hurt someone else the way you hurt me, and somehow I'm back to comforting you. But this is how you hurt me. So quickly you lost love, so abruptly I was erased, or rather morphed into a problem, into a memory to be overcome over long sleepless nights and hushed voices tangled in cotton sheets. An anecdote, a faded ghost, archived, boxed away. A guarantee of feeling more and better with new loves. A lesson learned. You got exactly what you needed. And so, you leave me, teary in the street, heart colder than the snow beneath my feet. I would ask, how could you? But I don't even want to know. Hand on my back, resolve dissolves, but no, not this time. On my flight back, I drunk cry, listening to melodrama, and walking through Sydney Airport Customs, I have never felt so at home. Thank you.